Ugh, got something in my eye. Hey dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer-songwriter, musician, and a big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be My Apocalypse? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So Ted, give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! My Apocalypse, the final track from Death Magnetic. I'm so sad the day has come. This has always been one of my favorite records, so we're gonna finish it off with a bang. We're gonna listen to it, me and you, together. I'm gonna stop it every time I hear something interesting. I'm gonna talk about it. Maybe you'll learn something, maybe I'll learn something, and then I'm gonna grade it using the following criteria: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a scale of 0 to 4 with a grand total of 20 possible points. We'll find out at the end of this video if the song has what it takes to get to the top 20 list. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because when you do, whatever the heck is bothering my eye right now will conclude. And I need your help. Please help me. I need it. I need it. Let's listen to the song, shall we? Oh yeah. Start with a bang. 1, 3, and then a tag. What's interesting about this is notice that once the drums come in, we get a bop with one guitar only. The bass and the second guitar cut out. It's just one guitar doing the bop, and then they come in with it. They're calling and responsing. It's very interesting to me. Usually you would have the whole band going bop, 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 but they have just one guitar doing it. That's very odd. I love that China hit. Boom, boom, ka. I think we get more. Nice thrash riff. Now, something interesting to note is, I don't know, we haven't really changed the guitars at all, question mark? I guess I haven't been paying attention that closely, but this riff has been pretty much the same all the way through. The only thing that's changed so far is the drums, but it feels new and fresh each time it comes around, because they're only doing maybe 2 versions of each. You know, the riff is maybe 4 bars long, and then they repeat it a second time, and then the third time we add the drums, and the fourth time the drums have a different ending, and now we're to this thrashy version. We only went through the thrash version twice, so they're building it, but it's still the same riff, and if I'm not mistaken, they play the same riff throughout the verse as well, and it takes a while before we finally climb to the next note. So very interesting. You can write a song with the same riff over and over and over, so long as something else is building. And on this song, just like so many songs before this, Lars is the one doing all the work. So good job, Lars. Love that. We go to just a halftime feel with the drums. Boom, boom, ka, ba-boom, boom, ka, ba-boom, boom, ka. It's the frantic riff. Same as frantic. They've probably done it in many other songs, but that's what I'm thinking of right now. And the guitars are just going bam, bam, bam. Really cool. It's creating a lot of space for the vocals, just a hit and then just the cymbal. And I don't know, I really like that. And then it changes, it builds, and then we get the hook of the song, My Apocalypse. It's only 2 words. It's only 2 words. I've been saying so far that those 3-word choruses are really effective. My apocalypse. It feels like 4 words because it's 4 syllables. My apocalypse. It's 5 syllables. Sorry. I'm bad at counting apparently. Let's keep going.
Into the crypt, total eclipse, soft aura to my apocalypse.
Back to thrash.
Deadly vision, prophecy reveal, death magnet.
the name of the song, Death Magnetic. Oh my God, we found out. Wait, what is this record named after? Right here, this song, last song on the record. They don't do that very often. Most of their songs that the title or a line in the song is the title of the album, they usually go with number 2, right? So I guess Kill 'Em All isn't really, is that even in the record? I guess maybe not. But Ride the Lightning, second track. Master of Puppets, second track. And Justice for All, second track. Black Album, you know, it's just, yeah, I guess that one. And Load and Reroll, okay, well, maybe there's not a pattern here, but I'm just saying it's different to have the last track be the one that references the album title. Just an interesting thing to point out.
Fear thy name, annihilation. Desolated hail of fire.
I love this drum roll that we have here. We have a straight drum fill on the snare, but then he hits the tom just once. So it's kind of a triplet fill, I think. Is it triplets? I think it's triplets. Let's count it together. Let's see if it sounds like triplets. But he does hit that tom just once. And I like that one tom hit. I don't know how many times I have to illustrate it. Let's just listen to it.
So we cross.
I think it's just straight. It's not triplets, but it is really cool. I'm going to back it up just 10 seconds so I can hear it again.
Annihilation. Desolated hail of fire. So we cross that line into the grips. Total eclipse. So throw to my apocalypse.
I love how it's snare hits with the cymbals. Kaku, 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 kaku. I changed it. It should be paku, 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 paku. And then it's cymbal mutes. Pop, 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 pop. Psh. Really cool. Now, I'm going to let this play because we have a really freaking cool build up here. There's a stop. There's a brand new riff. We haven't heard anything new for the last minute and 47 seconds. We're only halfway through the song, not even halfway through it yet, but we've been really, really, really hitting it hard on that. And then obviously the chorus, you know, we build up a little bit for that pre-chorus. We go up to the 2 and we climb a little bit, and then it's just, now we get a brand new riff, and this sucker rocks.
My apocalypse.
I love the way this builds. Let's listen to it one more time. I'm going to back it up 10 seconds. You listen to the way he's playing it. He starts it, it's very like almost palm muted. And as he's playing, he gradually opens up his wrist away from the strings to let the strings ring out more often. So you start with a here I'm doing that. The sound of the strings is coming through more as he builds through it. There might also be like a wah or something on here. I don't know if there's a wah or not, but he's opening up the sound. He's not just playing. It's not straight. It is an interesting way to build a riff. You can play the same thing over and over and over and still have something build. Like I said before, earlier, guitars were playing the same, the drums were doing the build. This time, we have one riff, one guitar, and it's doing its own build by the way that it's strumming with the right hand. Really cool.
My apocalypse.
We even got a little bit of a pinch harmonic in there. You kind of strike the string with the pick and your hand at the same time, and it kind of makes like, and like kind of squeaks a little bit. It's like goes a couple octaves higher than it's supposed to. So really cool, really well done. Good playing, Kirk. Good playing. And now everybody's riffing on this. This feels very Kill 'Em All. I mean, you could call this back to Hit the Lights, pretty much everything off their first two records. Maybe a little bit of Justice, but it's got that higher up kind of feel, right? It's tinnier, it's lighter. It doesn't have that like low end that we got in, from the Black Album all the way through Saint Anger, that they were really all about that low crunch. This is a much higher riff. It's almost happy, but it's a really cool riff. I really love it. Now we got a new riff that's got some chugging, some movement, but again, we're throwing back to the riff we just introduced. So we have the and then we have the. How does that part end? They're calling back to it. It's a motif. We've been talking about this song after song after song. They introduce something, you play it through 3 times, and then the 4th time is your tag, and your tag always has something new or calls back to something previous. It's a very interesting structure. You'll find it in all types of music out there. It's a well done. It's a way to write a good song. There's a lot of metal bands out there, a lot of them, and they're all really. There's a lot of metal bands who are really good at playing guitar. They're also really good at writing time signatures and key signatures and different, their tempos change and they do all this crazy stuff. But the reason why some of them don't find their way into the mainstream, it could be a variety of things. It could be just money and overexposure. There's a lot of bands out there. It's hard to break through. But one thing that really breaks through about Metallica is that they're not just playing metal. They're actually playing pop. And I know a lot of you are going to get mad at me for saying that, but I want to re-emphasize that pop isn't a genre. Pop is just shorthand for popular. Whatever's popular, that's just what pop is. A lot of the acts that are popular right now, they're just mixing some form of folk and some maybe EDM in there, and they're bringing a lot of different genres together. But ultimately, pop isn't really a genre. Pop is something that people latch onto. And people tend to latch on to the concept of 3+1. The riff repeats 3 times and there's a tag on the end, and the tag is familiar, or something about that structure is familiar. You play a riff 4 times through. You do 4 different versions of something. This structure is what works. It's a psychology thing. So any genre, anywhere, look at the most popular acts in that genre and tell me, are they using this 3+1 formula? Most likely, I would say probably yes. There are a few who stand out, who break the mold, who change up some things, but ultimately, a lot of them are using this because people attach themselves to this. Like, it's a familiarity thing. They're comfortable with it. It's almost like fabricating nostalgia. You're introducing to something early, and then you bring it back later, and they're like, hey, I remember the thing from earlier. Wow. That's what they're doing. I'm just saying, try it out in your own songs. You'll find people gravitate to this kind of concept. That's all. Ramble over.
Crushing metal, ripping skin, tossing body mannequins, spilling blood, bleeding gas. Mangled flesh, snapping spine, dripping bloody valentine, shadow face, spitting glass.
Okay. I have to pause here because I'm probably not going to pause it for a little while. It's probably going to be after the solo whenever I pause it. I don't know that for sure. I'm going to try my best. You can set your timers. I'll do a countdown. So get your timers ready. We'll find out how long it takes me to pause it. But what I want to introduce to you now is one of the best intros to a solo of all time. I'm going to just say it, of all time, of any song, any musician, any record, anywhere, worldwide. This is one of the best intros to a solo. We have a cool build up, and it builds and it builds and it builds. It goes up the key a little bit. There's a stop, and we get a car just drive by, just slammed in the face, just run over by just the wildest just rage, just all spills out. The apocalypse, it's like a bomb falling and just kaboom, it's over. I can't say enough about what we're about to hear. I might have to hear it twice. Nope, I'm going to do it once. We're going to do it once, and I'm going to try not to pause it. We've got a solo, and then I already forgot what comes after that. But, oh my God, get ready. Tell me, is this a car, or is it a voice, or is it a guitar? Somebody knows. How are they getting this effect? I don't know, but brace yourselves. Buckle your seatbelts. Strap in. Real tight, real tight. Here we go.
Split apart, split apart, split apart, split
I think that part's always kind of thrown me off a little bit. We have, oh my god, I didn't do the countdown. I'm sorry, I'm just too into the song. I think that solo was pretty damn incredible. You could argue that he's done better. You could argue that he's most of them are worse. Whatever you want to say, the way that we come into that solo is so freaking rewarding. But notice how it ended. They had a couple new chords right at the end, and now we have this. It's in an odd place. It's not just on the one. I think it's on an offbeat because you can hear him hit the crash and the kick drum on the one. So I think it's an offbeat. It's a little bit off. So when he does this drum fill, there's like another stop, and it feels like it should be coming in on a certain beat, but it comes in later or earlier accordingly. So it is a little bit weird. I think it's strange to kind of be-do-dee-doo and have the other guitars. The transition out of here is a little bit messy. I do have to say that. But I don't know. I just had so much fun in that solo. It's hard to say that the song is being pulled down because of this one little section, because we will rise back up. But you know what? I do have to knock him a little bit for that transition. It is a little goofy. I would like just a pause, pump, and then everybody comes in. A little extra measure there would have been nice, but we can't change it. We got to grade it for what it is. Let's keep going. Kind of like a jump in the fire sort of, maybe not jump in the fire. What's the song I'm thinking of? Maybe it's something from Justice. I can't speak. Maybe it's something from Justice. There, I said it. Round of applause. I said it. Yay! It sounds happy to me. We had this real aggressive, fast thing, and now it kind of feels dancey a little bit. So I don't know. I guess I would have rather gone right back into the main riff and finished it off a little bit early, but that's just me.
Makes me drift a little bit closer, and then takes the steering wheel. What makes me know it's time to cross over, or to repeat till I feel.
Now I do, as much as I don't like this riff, I do like the verse that he's singing here, the sort of bridge verse, if you will. There's something about the that's the pattern. He does that twice through. It's familiar. We're gonna do it 2 more times, but I don't know. I do like that verse. So the bridging riff in between it is it's all right. Oh man, I was really excited. I was having a good time. I think this has pulled me down just a little bit. I hope it comes back. So now we got the thrash riff with the fast do-do-do-do-do-do, but we got the double kick pedal and the cymbals, and this build up is so cool. This is kind of, we have a little triplet back to the verse, and the reason why that's important is because later in the song we're gonna have triplets at the end of the chorus. Listen real close here.
See the end in me.
Okay, that climb, that's coming back.
Climb out of this skin.
Ooh, okay. The first 2 verses, we have the crawl out of the skin, and then he's just, Lars is just playing thrash through that. Now he's adding the double kick pedal as the tag after each line.
Oh, Sam, waiting for that pin. Violate, annihilate, all wounds into my eyes. Obliterate, exterminate, and life itself deny. Fear thy name as hell awakens. Destiny inhale the fire. But we crossed that line into the grips, total eclipse. So far up to my
Notice how they're just staying on that. I think this is E. Technically, this is a new riff, but the climb down, the triplets, are what we experienced at the end of that bridge. So cool callback.
Demon awaken my apocalypse. Heaven awaken my apocalypse. Suffer forever my apocalypse.
Don't resolve it. What are they ending that on? Is that the fifth? Was that B? Or was it somewhere else? Maybe it was an A, maybe it was a G. I don't know. I can't hear it. I could look up the tabs, but I don't really care. I just like that they didn't resolve it. They didn't come down to the main riff. Everything is in, I think it's E. I actually haven't checked. Maybe the whole thing's in A and I'm just hearing things. But I think usually they're playing in E. And so they could have just ended on E. And suffer forever my apocalypse, jazz hands. But they went up, they went up to a different note. And so that's very nicely done. I appreciate it. What a nice fast song. Let's see if we can make this a nice fast video by comparison to my others. Here's the points. Here we go. Whoosh. Composition. Now, I know this falls into the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, just like every other song. But again, I'm really happy to see a lot of those 3+1. Every time there's an interesting tag and we call back to it, I think it's interesting that they have one riff that they can build so much off of just by changing the drums. It feels new again each time it changes, even though it doesn't change. Very interesting. I think there's a really cool breakdown before the solo. I think that's appropriate to write a really great pop song. You've got a main riff that you kind of stay, it's your home base, and then you introduce something new after that second chorus. And it's got to be just as cool, if not more cool. And they do that, and that solo is just a blast. It dips a little bit. I wish that right after the solo, we would kind of go to that bridge verse. I think that'd be an appropriate spot to just shift over, just cut out that weird stuff in the middle. And so that kind of dips for me, but I do appreciate that they bring it back. And that's the big thing, is when you lose me a little bit and I start doubting the song, if you can't pull me back in, it's... But this one, they did a really good job of bringing us back, because we come back in with another verse, which actually that last verse, so technically I'm wrong. It's verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. And that last verse, that third verse after the bridge, is a double verse. It's twice as long. They add more words to it, more interest to it. Brand new word. It starts with just the same as the first verse, but then they add that extra content at the end. Very cool. Then we have a final chorus that has a new, I guess the chorus is the same all the way through, but then our outro has something new that harkens back to, it refers to something we got from the bridge. So really interesting composition all the way through. I'm going to dock it 1 for dropping a little bit after the solo, but otherwise really great. Compositionally, it's a 3. Memorability. I think there's a lot of stuff to remember about this song. My Apocalypse is only 2 words. It's a nice hook. It's got stops, so it really calls attention to it. I think that you know, that plays out pretty well. So that's pretty cool. And I think that intro to that solo, that whatever it is, whether it's a car, a voice, or some sort of guitar effect, whatever they did to do that, that's really, really cool. It stands out. I don't know. I think that middle section gets kind of forgettable. I came back to this song. I've heard it a bunch of times. I've learned it before. I played the song before on my guitar. I never covered it live, but I did learn it when it first came out. And I completely forgot that whole bridge section. Like all of it's gone. So, you know, I can dock them 1 for that confidently. So other than that, pretty memorable. Memorability, it's a 3. Emotional response. I have always liked the song. I think it's really cool. I think it's fast. I think it's energetic. It gets the aggression out. If you had a bad day, you could just headbang away. If you had a bad day, headbang away. That's the new catchphrase. Add it to a t-shirt. No, I really like the song. I really find it unfortunate that dip, it really pulled me out a little bit. So I'm going to dock them 1 for the dip. But again, they saved it. They brought it back. So ultimately, I'm pretty happy. Emotional response, it's a 3. Instrumentation. I don't know if you can argue. They're all playing really, really, really well. Lars is playing fast. He's playing fast thrash beats throughout the song. We've got double kick in there. That's really cool. He's got a fast drum fill with some toms in it. He usually goes snare all the way, or he'll go da do do do. So it's nice to see that he doesn't just go back, go, go. He doesn't follow down the kit. He goes to the tom, but he comes back to the snare. That's unique for Lars. We got James and Kirk and Rob all just. I don't know what Rob is doing in this song, but he's playing with his fingers. So whatever he's doing to play that fast, just props to him, man. They're all playing really fast. That solo's really cool. I have no complaints. Instrumentally, it's a 4. Lyrics. This song is just dripping in metaphor. There's so much going on. If you're new to metal or you're new to songwriting and you just listen to this, if you're looking to get some testosterone boiling, you might see this and it's like, oh yeah, death is cool, man. The devil, you might be really into that concept. But there's a lot more. This isn't just like some song that's preaching about the end of days, right? He's not actually singing about an apocalypse. He's singing about my apocalypse. And if you look really, really close, there's a lot of metaphors for any sort of vice that you have, any sort of addiction. We know that James has struggled with addiction before. He's also gripping with his own mortality. So where is the end? When are we going to die? We don't really know. And is what I'm doing in my life making it bringing death closer, right? Dead Man grabs the wheel. There's stuff about even just the title, Death Magnetic, the record title and the reference in this song. Death is a magnet that's pulling me closer still. That's a really deep thing. Let me look at some of these other lines. Heart explosive, reach in and pull that pin. So your heart is an explosive and you're actually causing that, right? This is something that someone with an addiction does. They're actually like feeding themselves food that is gonna, clog their arteries or something, or they're drinking something, or they're injecting some sort of drug that would make that explode. What else? Inhale the fire, right? We could refer to smoking or some sort of drug use. We could refer to fire as warmth of a liquid beverage. Fire water is sort of an alcoholic beverage out there somewhere. I'm not going to tell you which one it is because I don't drink. If you don't drink, hey, how's it going? Let me know in the comments. I want to know where all my non-drinker rockers are. I know you're out there. There's few and far between, but I want to be friends with more. I want to befriend more non-drinker rockers. It's okay. You can still rock and not drink. There's a lot of cool stuff in life when you learn how to remember it. What else? What makes me know it's time to cross over? Born to repeat until I feel. So you're going to just keep repeating the same pattern over and over. Again, we have addiction showing up in the lyrics. Claustrophobic, climb out of the skin. This person is not happy with what they have on the inside, and they're just pulling it apart. They're just like taking all of this bad stuff, all this negative stuff in, and it's decaying themselves. They're actually ruining themselves. It's their own apocalypse. Obliterate, exterminate as life itself denied. Denying life, right? I'm gonna live forever if I just, I'm just fine if I don't ingest anything bad, if I, follow a healthy lifestyle. But you know what? Denied. I'm gonna just blah, 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 blah. I don't know what any of that means, but it's bad stuff, man, and it gets you closer to the grave. And if you want to get closer to the grave, I don't know, man. You do you, but for me, I like life. There's a lot of depth to these lyrics. I think it's really interesting. I think they're well written. I have no complaints about these lyrics. Lyrically, it's a 4. And so My Apocalypse finishes off this record with a grand total of 17. It just barely missed the top 20. It is in 30th place out of 98. Holy crap, I've done 98 videos. It actually just beat Suicide and Redemption. So yesterday's video of the instrumental, this one is just 1 point better. So nice job, My Apocalypse. Good way to finish our record. Let's take a look at that top 20. We still got one holding its own on the top. I fixed my little thing here, so I now know that the Nefer's on the chopping block. We got a lot of great songs to go. This is a great top 20, and now I'm interested to hear your score. Use the math, do it in the comments below. Tell me what you would give this song. And make sure to check out Midnight Notion. My music is available all over the internet. You might hear something that references My Apocalypse. You might not. I don't know. I love Metallica, so you'll always hear a little bit of Metallica in everything that I do. And of course, smash subscribe, because tomorrow it's no longer a rocker review, but a rocker react. I have never actually heard Beyond Magnetic, and I'm very excited to get into it. I'm going in with nothing. I am not researching lyrics. I have not heard the songs. I did hear one live at Orion Music and More, but I've forgotten everything about it, so I'm going in completely empty. I promise you, I'm not looking at anything in advance. I'm really excited to share my reaction with you. So hit that subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. You're awesome.